What's going on, guys? Jay Marinak here from JTMFit.com, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the steps to achieving the Superman push-up. The Superman push-up is an all-around awesome movement for building upper body strength and explosiveness. And again, it's just a badass movement to master. So it's super important that you guys follow these progressions to building the proper strength to achieving this badass move. Before we get started, it's super important that we warm up properly. We warm up the wrists, we warm up the upper body. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna call the wrist circles. So we interlock the fingers, we're gonna glue those palms together. We're gonna roll one direction for 10 reps. You're gonna hear some crunchiness going on here. Right, get those wrists fired up, loosened up. So we go 10 one way, then 10 the other direction. Once you do 10 both ways, probably do like 2 or 3 sets just to get things fired up. And then we'll get into the second move that we wanna do. It's gonna be a push-up to Superman hold, right? We're gonna do between 10 and 15 reps of these to get the entire body fired up, from the chest, the tris, the shoulders, and the back, the glutes, the legs. Everything's gonna be firing with this move. Let's get to it. Starting that push-up position, lower down to the chest. We're gonna extend down to our Superman hold for 2 seconds. Everything's tight and contracted. Back to the top of the push-up. Lower down, so you're squeezing your glutes, pointing those thumbs to the ceiling. Everything's tight. Back to the top here. Lower down, 2-second hold on the Superman, and extend back up. So again, 10 to 15 reps to get the entire body fired up, and then we're ready to start with our first progression. All right, the very first progression is gonna be an explosive push-up. All right, so again, you should be able to do a solid 10 to 20 regular push-ups before even attempting the explosive push-up. So all we're gonna do with this push-up, regular push-up form, but we're gonna explode off the ground at the top, land with nice soft elbows, return to the next rep. It looks like this. Keeping the elbows relatively tight to the body, core is braced tight, we lower down, and explode up. Lower down, explode up off the ground as high as you can, keeping that core braced. If this is too difficult for you, I'm gonna show you guys how to modify. All right, so throughout pretty much most of these progressions, you can use an elevated surface to make it easier. So you can use something that's maybe 10 inches off the floor, 12 inches. You could even use, a bench that you used to do, bench press, that kind of thing, to make things easier and allow you guys to actually do the movement. So, same principles will apply. Lower the chest down, explode up. So you should be able to do 8 to 10 regular explosive push-ups before moving on to the next progression. All right, next progression is gonna be the clap push-up. Pretty much most of us have seen the clap push-up, right? Let's just talk about it real quick. Again, all the same principles apply as far as the push-up goes. When you explode off the ground, make sure that you come to full extension before clapping in the air to really maximize the tension in the muscle and maximize the explosiveness out of each rep. So you'll see some people do push-ups or clap push-ups like this, where they're not fully extending and they're not getting the most out of the movement. So make sure you do them like this. Full extension to maximize the explosiveness through the chest, shoulders, and triceps. And again, to modify the movement, we bring it to an elevated surface. All the same principles apply. You should be able to do, again, 8 to 10 clap push-ups before moving on to the next progression. All right, the next progression is gonna be chest tap push-ups. So as we start to get more explosive and get those hands off the ground even further, it's okay to use a yoga mat or something like that for a little extra support on the wrists. You're not using a hard ground or concrete, so if you guys wanna take care of those wrists a little bit more, throw something down that's a little bit soft to kind of take away some of that impact. So the chest tap push-up, all we're doing here, similar to the clap push-up, but we're just reaching higher, tapping the chest, and getting those hands down before our body hits the ground. All right, so it's super important to be super fast and explosive with that tap. Okay, all the same principles apply with a push-up. Don't let the elbows flare out. Keep those elbows at a 45 or even closer to the side of the body. Keep the core braced tight. Let's get after the chest taps. Notice the speed here, guys. Fast to the chest. Explode. Try not to lift those hips up too much. So we don't want to lift the hips up high in the air. We don't want to lift the butt up too much. Keep those hips nice and level, core braced. Isolate the chest and tries to really build an upper body explosiveness. Again, if you want to modify, we bring it over. You guys are probably sick of seeing me come over here. Something low, right, a bench. Same principles apply. Lower down and explode. Tapping that chest. And there you have it, guys, a chest tap. Make sure you can do between 6 to 10 chest tap push-ups before moving on to the next progression. All right, we're moving on to the next progression. Now we're really gonna start flying a little bit. So make sure you lay something down, again, a yoga mat, something like that, just to protect the wrists a little bit. So this progression, we're gonna be doing a Superman push-up with the feet on the ground. Okay, so the idea is here, we're gonna extend all the way out and get those hands back under the body before we smash down. So again, guys, fast as hell here, right? Be explosive, fire those hands out and back under. All right, this is a pretty scary progression for a lot of people. People are scared to, rightfully so, extend the arms all the way out and get it back under. So start small with small little movements. As you feel more comfortable, start extending those arms out a little bit further until you can reach full extension. So let me show you what that looks like. So again, we start off just a little bit, extending those arms out until you feel more comfortable. Check it out. As you start feeling more comfortable with it, start extending those hands out. Try not to use the hips a ton yet. Again, be quick, be explosive, get these done, be safe with these. Again, start small, work your way out. You want to modify a little bit, get into that elevated surface. Same principles apply. There you have it, guys. Call these the pseudo Superman push-up, right? Feet on the ground. Make sure you can do 5 to 8 reps before moving on to the next progression. All right, guys, moving on to the second to last progression. This is gonna be a full body explosive push-up. So at this point in our training with the Superman push-up, a little technique is gonna be involved here, or more technique is gonna be involved. All right, there's gonna be a big, or somewhat of a big shifting of the hips or lifting of the hips to really get good elevation and extension into the Superman. So we're gonna talk about that. And we're also gonna talk about just getting both the hands and the feet off the ground and start getting comfortable with elevating both the hands and the feet off the ground. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let's get down to the push-up position. All right, I'm gonna do a couple here and then we'll kind of talk about it a little bit. So all the same principles apply with our push-up. We lower down, but we're gonna, right, explode up. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're pushing off our toes and we're slightly lifting our hips up to kind of bring the body up at the same exact time. So we don't want to have, you know, be all segmented and have the feet coming up first or the hands coming up first. We want to really try and get both things coming up at the same exact time. So again, so I want you guys to watch from the side here. Watch as my hips come up. Watch as I push off my toes to get some elevation. Right? Land with a nice soft elbow here so we don't jar the elbows too much. Lower down, explode up. So push off the toes, lifting the hips up, and then bring the hands up. All right, so make sure you can bust out 5 to 8 full body explosive push-ups before moving on to the next progression. All right, here we are at the very last progression. Now we're gonna start working the full Superman push-up. It's gonna be very similar to the pseudo Superman with the feet on the ground, where we slowly start to extend the arms out. All right, this is a scary move for a lot of people like the pseudo Superman, so make sure that you start small, Extend those arms out just a little bit. As you get more comfortable and you start getting more height, you can start getting more comfortable with that hip lift, driving up through the feet, then you can start fully extending. Also with these, you want to make sure you have some mat downs for sure, right? If you guys have a thicker mat, like a gymnastics mat, or if you're outside maybe using the grass, something like that, that's probably the safest way to do these. Again, be safe, be smart, have fun. This is a fun movement, just enjoy it, but again, train smart. Use the progressions, right? Don't just start flying. I know you're gonna want to, and there's gonna be people that are doing that. They're just gonna go right to the last one. Trust me, right? Follow the progressions, because it's so important to not only train the muscles the right way, but also the joints and ligaments need to get strength and get strengthened and be strong to handle this kind of absorption of our weight coming down onto the ground. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the last progression. Again, we're utilizing that full body explosive push-up, but now we're gonna start extending the arms out a little bit each time. All right, let's go. So again, just a little bit, nice soft landing. We'll go a little bit again here. So lower down with control, explode up, lift those legs up. Again, just start feeling more comfortable. We'll start getting some more height here. All right, start extending out. Start extending those legs up, right? Just a little bit more. You start feeling totally comfortable, you're just gonna go for it. Extend those arms out fully. Really point those toes back. Make sure your body's nice and tight and rigid. Extend those arms out. Get them back underneath. Guys, be super quick with these. It's really tough to use an elevated surface with these, so you're gonna have to practice on the floor. So again, start small. Train safe, be smart with these, all right? Make sure you're just doing one at a time to start before you start trying to string them together. It's probably the safest way to do it. And again, just get after it, have fun with it. Leave a comment below if you like the video, you want to see more tutorials like this one. Enjoy the training. Let's get it.